Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. By the grace of Lord Almighty and by the grace of Pujya Shri Mahaswami of Kanchi and Goddess Saraswati, we are here for the inauguration of the VEENA MAHOTSAVAM 2014. I have great pleasure in calling on stage respected Srimati Akila Srinivasan, Managing Director of Shriram Life Insurance, who has kindly consented to light the lamp and inaugurate this VEENA MAHOTSAVAM. I have great pleasure in calling on stage respected Shri L. Sabharatnam, Chairman of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Chennai Kendra, who has kindly agreed to preside over this inaugural function, which is a very short one. I just have a few points to make in this very short welcome address. It is sheer God's grace that in 2009 I was ordained to take up organizing this VEENA festival, and that year happened to be the golden jubilee year of the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Chennai Kendra, and Shri Sabharatnam immediately jumped at the idea and said, yes, let's have the VEENA festival here. And that's how the 10-day VEENA festival took place at the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. Since then, he has been a great pillar of support to me in organizing this festival every year. And on behalf of the entire VEENA fraternity, I thank Shri Sabharatnam for coming forward to support this cause of the propagation of this divine instrument. Srimati Akila Srinivasan, like Shri Sabharatnam, is part and parcel of our family. She has been supporting various cultural causes at various levels. But here, we are delighted to have her support the VEENA festival this time from the Shriram Group. And we thank you so much on behalf of the entire VEENA fraternity for coming forward to support this cause. One more person whom I have to mention is Shri N. Murali, co-chairman of the Kasturi Sons, the Hindu, and the president of the Music Academy, Chennai. Since 2009, he has been extremely kind enough to completely support the VEENA festival from the point of view of the media advertisements. Again, on behalf of the entire VEENA fraternity, I thank Shri Murali for his support. Dear Rasikas, this time you will find, perhaps for the first time, a banner behind the artist containing the names of the supporters for a VEENA festival. This is the first time it's happening in the field of VEENA. You know, this gives me tremendous joy. Just not me alone, but the entire VEENA fraternity, I mean. When I speak on behalf of the fraternity. We have Shriram Group supporting us, we have ACT Broadband, we have the Karur Vaisya Bank, we have the SABHA Foundation, as I mentioned, from Shri Sabharatnam, we have Shri Krishna Sweets, Shri Murali has been kind enough to support us, we have the Gupta Foundation and its trustee, Shri Krishna Kishore, who is my very close personal friend, and he has been supporting, like Shri Sabha every year for the cause of VEENA. Then, of course, as I mentioned, the Hindu supports from the point of view of media advertisements. And this year again, we are having, for the first time, free live webcast of the entire VEENA Mahotsavam. That has been done courtesy Shri Sudhakar of the Swati Group through their website www.kalakendra.com, so that world over Rasikas can watch this entire festival live and free. When we conducted the 2009 festival there, Shri R. Krishna Swami, Secretary of NARADA GANA SABHA, attended the festival, and he was thoroughly impressed with the entire concept, and it was he who actually mentioned to me that from next year onwards, this will be an annual feature of NARADA GANA SABHA. Please give him a big hand, because but for that decision of Shri R. Krishna Swami, we wouldn't be conducting this festival like this every year here. I bow to him for his deep commitment for the cause of VEENA. I'm sorry that because of his being unwell, he is not being able to be present here, but we all jointly pray to that goddess Saraswati and Pujya Shri Mahaswami of Kanchi that he should be back to perfect health and start attending concerts here as soon as possible. That's how this entire VEENA festival concept came up. I put it in a nutshell. But then, dear Rasikas, this year, every year it has been growing by God's grace. But this year, I am myself surprised, being the coordinator, as to how a record number of 72 slots for VEENA had to be created. I was planning something like 50 to 60. But then the amount of emails, phone calls from not only Chennai, from all over the 4 southern states have come up, and that's how I had to increase 60 slots to 72 slots, including the Akandam on the 14th, Sunday morning to night. You are going to be listening to VEENA, VEENA, VEENA and nothing else. So in these 72 slots, I couldn't increase it further, but then there were still requests. Then I would like to mention here that I had to get into a stage where I had to request students to perform along with their gurus or pair up as much as possible, so that we have now landed up with a total number of 106 VEENA artists performing in this year's VEENA Mahotsavam, which is truly an amazing record. This is, I am again repeating, it is Pujya Shri Mahaswami of Kanchi who is conducting the festival and not B.Kannan. I am just an instrument in his hands. He decides and it happens. As I have mentioned all the points, one very, very significant thing which all of us have to bear in mind this year is just not only the record performers. This year happens to be the centenary year, birth centenary year of one of the doyens in the field of VEENA, K.S. Narayana Swami. So we all from the VEENA fraternity jointly bow to him, and we have to celebrate his birth centenary, and that also happens to be in the same month. So it's a beautiful coincidence that his birth centenary is falling in this very September, and we are all blessed to observe this wonderful combination of his birth centenary along with our VEENA festival. I should say that all the 106 artists plus the 18 Mridangam artists and the 18 Ghatam artists, all 142 of them are not, I underline the word not, coming here and playing for the sake of any honorarium or remuneration. This is truly the format of Tiruvayyaru, and it is just happening the way it happens there. We are just, through these supporters, just taking care of probably the transport expense of all the artists, because that is, to carry a veena from one place to another place is no joke. In that respect, the most, the person whom I personally envy is, well, not the vocalist, among the instrumentalists, the person whom I envy is the Morsing artist. Just puts it in a pocket and keeps going. So, with these words, I have great pleasure in welcoming Srimati Akila Srinivasan, Shri L. Sabaratnam, all the Veena Vidwans and Vidushis who have come here, and all the Rasikas. To conclude, I just have one very, very special request. This is your festival. This is a festival to celebrate Veena. So I want all of you to spread the word. Of course, we are going to be having the daily advertisement in the Hindu paper. I want you to spread the word. Bring as many people as possible, Rathikas, especially the younger generation. Because in this festival, if you see the list of 106 artists, you are going to be seeing the age category starting from 80 onwards right down to teenagers. So probably about 3 or 4 generations of artists are going to be performing in this festival. And I have great pleasure in requesting all of you to please come in large numbers and make this VEENA MAHOTSAVAM a grand success. We were only calling it VEENA Utsavam till last year. And I think by virtue of this record number of days, number of slots, number of artists, we decided to call it VEENA MAHOTSAVAM. I pray to Goddess Saraswati and Pujya Shri Mahaswami of Kanchi to bless all of us present here and also watching this festival through the live webcast with the best of health, happiness, peace and prosperity. Thank you very much. I have great pleasure in requesting Srimati Akila Srinivasan to light the Kuttuvalakku and inaugurate this VEENA Mahotsavam. Well, obviously, it required my better half to come and solve the problem.
Thanks for acknowledging she's your better half.
May I request Dr. Padma Subramaniam to come and offer this shawl to Srimati Akila Srinivasan. We have the another secretary of Narada GANA SABHA, Shri Mohan Srinivas here, and may I request him to come and offer this shawl to Shri Sabharatnam. Srimati Akila Srinivasan.
Most revered Dr. Padma Subramaniam, Shri Sabharatnam, Shri B.Kannan, friends and Rasikas. It's indeed a very great honor and privilege for me to be present here today and inaugurate the VEENA festival. And going by what Kannan says, I'm really amazed that this VEENA festival that started in the year 2009 today has about 72 slots and 106 VEENA players participating. I think next year we should propagate about the VEENA festival more and bring in more Rasikas and have it in a bigger auditorium, and I would pledge Shriram Group's continuous support. Continuous and increasing support for the VEENA festival. We are all moved by Kannan's dedication. He's not only an extraordinary artist in his own right, but he takes up organizing the festival and gives his all. That shows his passion and dedication to the divine art. And needless to say, the family that he comes from, the lineage, the rich lineage, இது ஒரு கலை குடும்பம். அவளோட குடும்பம் வந்து ஒரு கலை குடும்பம். இதில் வந்து நான் அன்றைக்கி சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன், கண்ணனோட வீணை இதை இங்கே வெப்காஸ்டில் பார்த்தேன் 2-3 நாள் முன்னாடி. அப்போ வந்து whether Gayatri is blessed to have Kannan as her husband or Kannan is blessed to have her as his wife அப்படின்னு எனக்கு தோணித்தேன்னா, the way she sings for her aunt Paddu Akka and the way she dances herself. So the entire family is into divine art, and I am very privileged to know them very closely and work with them in certain very important and noble endeavors, cultural endeavors. So I wish Kannan and the VEENA festival and other organizers the very best of luck, and we will muster in more support from next year and make this a grander festival because it merits that kind of attention and respect from the Rasika community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That itself is the greatest indication of the growth of the VEENA festival. And on behalf of the entire VEENA fraternity, we thank you for continuing to support us in the years to come. Shri L. Sabharatnam.
எல்லோருக்கும் எனது மாலை வணக்கங்கள். டாக்டர் பத்மா சுவாமி அவர்களே, திரு மோகன் அவர்களே, மற்றும் கூடியிருக்கும் பெரியவர்களே, இந்த நல்ல விழாவை, தெய்வீகமான விழாவை தொடங்கி வைத்து அமர்ந்திருக்கும் திருமதி அகிலா ஸ்ரீனிவாசன் அவர்களே, திரு கண்ணன் அவர்களே, எல்லோருக்கும் எனது மனமார்ந்த வணக்கங்களை சொல்லியிருந்தேன். இந்த ஃபெஸ்டிவலை பற்றி நல்லா மிஸ்டர் கண்ணன் அவர்கள் முதல்ல நல்லா டீட்டெயில்டாக சொன்னாங்க. இந்த பாரதிய வித்யா பவனில் தான் ஆரம்பித்தோம் 2009. இதை நல்லா பாப்புலரைஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு மிஸ்டர் கண்ணன் மாதிரி ஆளுங்க பார்க்க முடியாது. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு வீணா ஹிஸ்டரி வந்திருக்கிறாரு. இட்ஸ் காட் லாட் ஆஃப் எனர்ஜி டு புட் இட் த்ரூ தட் மியூசிக். எல்லாரையும் கான்டாக்ட் பண்ணி இப்போ அந்த ஸ்பான்சர்ஷிப் எல்லாம் ரியலி இது பண்ணி அவங்களோட நெக்ஸ்ட் இயருக்கு நிறைய ஷூட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஐ ஷுட் தேங்க் அகிலா. அண்ட் ஷீ இஸ் சச் அ கிரேட் உமன் டு ஃபார் த காஸ் ஆஃப் கல்ச்சர். இன்ஃபேக்ட் டாக்டர் பத்மாஸ் கல்ச்சுரல் அஃபேர்ஸ்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா லாஸ்ட் டைம் அவங்களே தேவ் டேக்கன் வெரி அந்த பர்சனல் ஒர்க் மாதிரி எடுத்து நிறைய பண்ணாங்க. It is very successful. They have taken it to Bombay also. It was again more successful in Bombay. And I'm so happy. The artists from South India really performing well. And they are bringing the name for India and as well as South India. That's a great thing that we have to congratulate Dr. Padma on this. எனக்கு கண்ணன் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். ஏன்னா அவர் வந்து வெரி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் பர்சன். அட் எனி பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் டைம் எந்த கல்ச்சராக இருந்தாலும் எதுவாக இருந்தாலும் மனசோட நல்ல பிரியமாக வந்து எல்லாம் பேசிட்டு இருப்பார். இஸ் வெரி அட்டாச் டு எவ்ரிபடி. இந்த மாதிரி இவங்க தான் ஆர்கனைஸாக இருக்க முடியும், கோஆர்டினேட்டும் பண்ண முடியும். ஸோ ஐ விஷ் தட் ஹீ கேன் டூ a lot more in a bigger way next year, as Aguila told. Honestly, I also would like to support that. And this is இது ரொம்ப தெய்வீகமான இந்த வீணையுடைய இது. இதை வாசிக்கிறவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு கடவுளுடைய வரம் இருக்கிறது. இந்த விழாவை அவரெல்லாம் நடத்தி கொடுப்பதற்கு நான் அவர்கள் எல்லாம் ரொம்பவும் கொடுத்து வைத்துள்ளேன் என்று சொல்லுவேன். ஏன்னா இந்த மாதிரி வீணையை ஒன்றா ஒரு இடத்துல கேட்கணுன்னா அது கிடைக்காது. இவன் நல்லா அது பண்ணிகிட்ருக்காங்க. அது நாரதகான சபா கிருஷ்ணாமி அவர்கள் இன்றைக்கி வர முடியல அவரால். இருந்தாலும் அவர் ஒவ்வொரு வருஷமும் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் எடுத்து வந்து உட்காந்து இவ்வளோதான் பண்ணுவார் அவர். ஸோ ஐ ஆல்சோ would like to thank him for his unstinted support. அண்ட் இந்த நல்ல ஒரு விழாவிலே என்னை அழைத்ததற்கு நன்றி கூறி, இது சிறப்பாக என்ன நடக்க வேண்டும் என்று நான் கடவுளை வேண்டி அவர்கள் நன்றி வணக்கம்.
Dear Rasikas, all the 4 concerts today are going to be performed by 4 brilliant young talents. We are going to have Anjani, followed by R. Hariram, and then Veena Venkatramani and Bharadwaj Raman. The speciality of all these 4 young artists is that 2 things. Number 1, all 4 of them have already received the Young Veena Artist Award from NARADA. That is why we have put them together. And the other thing is that it sends a very positive and strong message that here is an entire generation which has taken up the cause of Veena, and that Veena has a bright future, and that is the message which all 4 of them are going to be giving you. So let's enjoy these 4 concerts and also the other ones to come in the days to come. And over to Anjani, who will be performing the first slot. And I once again, on behalf of the Veena fraternity and NARADA Sabha, thank Srimati Akila Srinivasan and Shri L. Sabaratnam and all the sponsors who have come forward to support this festival this year for making it what it is going to be from today onwards. Thank you so much.